The bus rumbled down the dirt road, each bump sending a jolt of nervous excitement through the group of 10 high schoolers crammed inside. It was supposed to be a classic senior year camping trip, a last hurrah before college applications and the looming reality of graduation. Maya, the organizer and self-proclaimed adventure enthusiast, grinned from the front. Beside her, Liam, the resident skeptic, was already fiddling with his phone, trying to get a signal that stubbornly refused to appear. Liam's voice broke the silence. "Seriously, no bars?" Maya chuckled. "Relax, Liam, that's the point! We're escaping the digital world and connecting with nature." Chloe chimed in with a smirk. "Yeah, and probably getting eaten by bears." The destination was Whispering Pine State Park, a place known for its towering trees and, according to local legend, a few more unsettling stories that Maya had conveniently left out of her initial pitch. They set up camp as dusk painted the sky in shades of orange and purple. The air was crisp and carried the scent of pine and damp earth. A crackling fire soon became the heart of their little temporary community, casting dancing shadows on the surrounding trees. Stories and laughter filled the air, punctuated by the occasional chirp of crickets. Time for the classics. As they roasted marshmallows, a strange sound drifted from the deeper parts of the woods. It wasn't the hoot of an owl or the rustling of leaves. It was a low, rhythmic hum, almost like a distant engine, but with an unsettling, organic quality to it. What was that? Probably just the wind. But the hum persisted, growing slightly louder, and it seemed to have a subtle, almost musical quality to it, like a single, drawn-out note played on a very strange instrument. It pulsed, a slow, deliberate thrumming that vibrated in the air. It doesn't sound like wind. The sound eventually faded, replaced by an uneasy silence. They tried to shrug it off, attributing it to their overactive imaginations fueled by the darkness. But a seed of unease had been planted. As the night deepened, they retreated to their tents. Maya and Olivia shared one, Ben and Sam another, and Liam, ever the loner, had his own small tent slightly apart from the others. Chloe, surprisingly, insisted on sleeping in the tent with Liam, claiming she couldn't shake off the creepy feeling. Around 2 a.m., Maya woke up. The air in the tent felt heavy, and a faint, sweet smell, like overripe fruit, hung in the air. She nudged Olivia, but her friend didn't stir. Maya sat up, peering through the mesh window of the tent. The moon was hidden behind thick clouds, making the campsite eerily dark. Then she heard it again. The hum. It was closer now, and the pulsing was more pronounced. It felt like something was breathing just outside their tent. Maya held her breath, listening intently. Mixed with the hum was a new sound, a soft, almost inaudible whispering. It wasn't in a language she recognized, just a sibilant murmur that seemed to weave in and out of the humming. Fear prickled her skin. She tried to wake Olivia again, shaking her gently, but Olivia remained deeply asleep, her breathing slow and even. It was as if she were under some kind of spell. Maya slowly reached for the zipper of the tent, her heart pounding in her chest. She had to know what was out there. Just as her fingers brushed against the cold metal, the whispering intensified, becoming slightly clearer, as if it was trying to form words. But the sounds were all wrong, twisted and guttural. Suddenly, a shadow flickered across the tent fabric. It was tall and thin, and it moved with an unnatural fluidity. Maya froze, her hand hovering over the zipper. She could feel eyes on her, though she couldn't see them. The whispering stopped abruptly, replaced by a single sharp click, like two stones being struck together right outside their tent. Then, silence. A silence so profound it felt like the world had stopped breathing. Maya waited, every muscle in her body tense. After what felt like an eternity, she slowly, cautiously unzipped the tent. She peered out into the darkness. The campsite was still. The fire had long since died, leaving only glowing embers. She couldn't see anything unusual. She glanced over at Liam's tent. It looked undisturbed. Then she looked at Ben and Sam's tent. It was slightly askew, the entrance flap hanging open. Maya, Ben, Sam. No response. A wave of panic washed over her. She crawled out of the tent, the damp grass cold beneath her bare feet. She went to Ben and Sam's tent and peered inside. It was empty. Their sleeping bags were still there, but Ben and Sam were gone. The humming started again, faint but persistent, coming from the woods behind their campsite. This time, it was accompanied by a new sound, a soft, dragging noise, like something heavy being pulled across the forest floor. Liam, Chloe, wake up! What's going on? Ben and Sam are gone, and I heard things. Did you hear which way they went? Towards the woods. I heard dragging sounds. We have to go after them. Are you crazy? We don't know what's out there, but we can't just leave them. After a tense discussion, they decided to stick together. Armed with flashlights and a healthy dose of fear, Maya, Liam, and Chloe ventured into the woods, following the faint but persistent hum. The trees were dense, their branches reaching out like skeletal arms. The air was thick with the sweet, sickly smell Maya had noticed earlier. The humming grew louder as they went deeper, and the dragging sound became more distinct. Look at this. There, in the soft earth, were two sets of footprints, clearly Ben's and Sam's. But beside them were other tracks, strange and unsettling. They were larger than human feet, with 3 long, slender toes that left deep impressions in the soil. A cold dread washed over them. Whatever had taken Ben and Sam wasn't human. They continued to follow the tracks and the humming, which now seemed to be coming from a small clearing ahead. As they approached, they could see a faint, pulsating light emanating from within. They crept to the edge of the clearing and peered through the bushes. What they saw made their blood run cold. In the center of the clearing stood a tall, slender figure, bathed in the eerie, pulsating light. It was vaguely humanoid in shape, but its skin was a sickly pale green, and its limbs were unnaturally long and thin. Its head was elongated and smooth, with no discernible features, except for two large black, unblinking eyes that seemed to absorb the light around them. Standing beside it, their eyes glazed over and vacant, were Ben and Sam. They seemed to be in a trance, their bodies swaying slightly in time with the pulsating light. The humming was coming from the figure itself, a low, resonant vibration that seemed to emanate from its very core. And as they watched, the figure slowly raised one of its long, spindly arms. In its hand, it held a strange, crystalline object that glowed with the same eerie light. It moved towards Ben, and as it did, the whispering started again, louder now, clearer. This time, they could almost make out words, though they were still twisted and alien. Alien, joining, the chorus, becoming one. The figure reached out with the crystalline object and gently touched Ben's forehead. As it did, Ben's body stiffened, and a faint green glow emanated from his eyes. Then, slowly, his lips began to move, and he started to hum, the same low, resonant hum as the figure. Sam followed suit as the figure moved towards him. "We have to do something. We can't fight that thing. We need to get out of here and get help. No, we're not leaving them." Before Liam or Maya could react, Chloe stepped out of the bushes, her flashlight beam fixed on the alien figure. "Hey, leave them alone!" The figure slowly turned its head, its black eyes fixing on Chloe. The humming stopped for a moment, replaced by a high-pitched, clicking sound that sent shivers down their spines. Scene 4. We have to go. Then, it started to move towards Chloe, its long limbs gliding effortlessly through the undergrowth. "Liam, come on, we have to go." Scene 5. The fight song. But Maya couldn't move. Her eyes were fixed on Chloe, who stood her ground, her flashlight beam unwavering. As the figure drew closer, Chloe did something completely unexpected. She started to sing. Not a battle cry, not a shout of defiance, but a song. It was a simple, slightly off-key rendition of their high school fight song, a tune they had all sung countless times at pep rallies and football games. Scene 6. Dissolving figure. The effect was immediate and bizarre. The alien figure faltered in its stride, its head tilting slightly as if confused. The humming wavered, and the pulsating light flickered. Ben and Sam stopped swaying, their glazed eyes momentarily focusing. Chloe kept singing, her voice gaining strength and confidence. Liam and Maya stared in disbelief as the alien figure began to twitch and spasm, its smooth face contorting in what looked like pain or distress. The crystalline object in its hand dimmed, and the green glow in Ben and Sam's eyes faded. Then, with a final, ear-splitting click, the figure dissolved into a cloud of shimmering green dust that quickly dissipated into the night air. Ben's voice echoed in the silence. What happened?" Chloe responded, her voice trembling. I don't know." Liam and Maya rushed forward, relief washing over them. They were shaken and terrified, but Ben and Sam were back. They didn't stay at Whispering Pines State Park another night. They packed up their gear in a frenzy as soon as the sun began to rise, not speaking much. the events of the night hanging heavy in the air. So, what do you think that thing was? No one had an answer. They looked at each other, their faces pale in the morning light, the memory of the humming, the whispering, and the tall green figure etched into their minds. They knew one thing for sure. Their senior year camping trip was definitely not a classic, and Whispering Pines would forever be etched in their memories as the place where they encountered something truly weird, something that hummed in the darkness and whispered of joining a silent alien chorus. They also learned that sometimes the most unexpected weapon against the unknown is a slightly off-key rendition of your high school fight song. And maybe, just maybe, there were some stories about Whispering Pines that Maya hadn't left out after all. The ride back was quiet, each of them lost in their own thoughts, forever changed by the strange and terrifying night they had just survived. The digital world, with its constant notifications and endless distractions, suddenly seemed a lot less scary. End of story. Alright everyone, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next